Its life is being at the center of events. It has seen war and saved the wounded. It has put out fires. It went into the mountains and helped people. It always came to the rescue. It has been where no one else could ever have gotten, where others lost their strength. It is the largest helicopter in the world, the Mi-26, the pride of the Russian aviation. But even such a strong and reliable aircraft needs help.
It is a pity to see the helicopters as they stand here in the so-called green line. They are meant to be in the sky, like living birds.
To rescue the rescuer, to help that which has helped others all its life. Who is able to do this?
Our partner, Russian Helicopters, recommended Novosibirsk plant to us because they have the experience and they are very close to our republic. And most of all, they already had prepared 2 helicopters for our Ministry of Defense.
The equipment which helps to carry out all rescue operations requires mandatory maintenance and attention.
It is a unique operation. No one in the world has ever done this before.
To carry out a partial disassembly on an airfield here in Kazakhstan, on the customer's land, to send the units on trucks and to move the fuselage by the same type of helicopter, Mi-26, to the plant where they will do a complete disassembly, repairing, full assembly and testing.
The Mi-26 helicopter is so large that it's not possible to move it on any transportation vehicles. It cannot be moved by sea, nor by railroad. It can neither be carried on highways. There was an idea, and initially it seemed absurd to deliver them by air. One thing was problematic, the long distance.
To lift a helicopter into the air. It is a simple working situation, if the helicopter is in running condition. But what if it is not?
Initially, the preparations were theoretical. The weight of all the units had to be removed and disassembled. It was calculated, the alignment of the helicopter was calculated, then a lot of work was done, and it gave a real satisfaction when, after almost everything was dismantled from the helicopter, we had calculated and weighed the fuselage and got the same result which was calculated theoretically. That is, we were satisfied with the result.
Of course, the most difficult moment was the first lifting.
To lift the helicopter into the air, this is only the beginning. It dangles on a suspended sling. The pendulum effect can ruin the operation.
According to the laws of physics, the fuselage, which would be transported at 40–50 degrees to the right due to the crosswind, a proposal was made to us and UTR supported it, that we'd tie an extraction parachute to the tail skid block.
Almost immediately, we had to give up this idea. The parachute would increase the wind resistance and decrease the airspeed.
If the indicated airspeed is about 80 km per hour, with a headwind is about 40, a car on the road could outrun the helicopter.
The second flight, with a strong headwind, the speed dropped to 50 km per hour. Feeling that there would not be enough fuel and the helicopter would be unable to reach the destination point, the commander made a decision to land on a field.
It was a very complicated work. To land in such a location, there is nothing at all. To deliver fuel there, to fill the aircraft and to fly again.
After each flight, we have to remove all units from the helicopter, inspect them, do non-destructive testing, watch what has happened to them during the flight, whether there were any damages, fractures or cracks, and only then we clear the aircraft for the next flight.
2,000 kilometers, 2 countries, 7 stops on the way from Jambul to Novosibirsk. What is this? An endeavor or just a job?
It was the first time that I had the chance to transport the fuselage of the Mi-26 helicopter, and I want to say that the work was extraordinary and complex.
I had transported An-24 aircraft before. My colleagues brought other types of helicopters, smaller ones, and they have no life at all. But this case, we are talking about a helicopter, we need to restore it and bring it back to the sky.
This task cannot be put on an assembly line, it cannot be put into manufacture. It's a problem solved individually for these helicopters. This operation is not very common. It can be said that it will leave a mark in history. Yet it cannot be called an endeavor either. It's just a job well done. It needed a creative approach. I'm proud of my people, because we solve every problem in a creative way.
Novosibirsk aircraft repairing plant, helicopter service company, UTair, Kazaviaspas. More than 100 people were involved, and the job was accomplished. It was a hard work.
It very much depended on the experience of our career and on those pilots who carried it out. Many things they did just brilliantly. Concerning further development, the Novosibirsk aircraft repairing plant has chosen repairing Mi-26 helicopters to be one of the direction of its expansion. Now we can say with confidence that wherever these helicopters are, we can organize both their restoration and their transportation to a certified facility for prolonging their life.
We were extremely pleased to say thank you to all the people who developed the idea and called us to help. We do hope that the Russian aviation will continue to revive and large helicopters will fly.
We should say that the attitude toward helicopters is like toward a living being that understands you, protects you and obediently fulfills your wishes.
A helicopter is unlike an airplane. It can land anywhere and has a multiple task to do, and it has to be treated like a living being.
It had to return. There is no other way, because its help is needed everywhere, all the time. It lives for it. And today it is back in service, because there are people who are helping it. Novosibirsk Aircraft Repairing Plant. 70 years with helicopters.